Hello and welcome to Bear Care Corner.
Hello, hi Gail, welcome.
Welcome. We are at Dolly's house and it is extremely hot out.
It is very toasty, yeah.
The birds actually have an air conditioner running.
Yeah. So it's definitely more comfortable in there. So yeah, they are living it up.
Yes. We're going to introduce ourselves. Oh,
that's okay. My name is Nicole. I'm the senior animal caregiver here.
My name is Andrea, the animal care manager. We're going to be here chatting with you live for a few minutes, giving you some resident updates. Like I said on Barnside yesterday, we're going to give some updates on Fern's integration. I can see her from here.
I see her right now.
Fern is our newest hen resident,
yes.
And she's in the process of integration. Integration for different species often goes all kinds of different ways.
Yes.
We find that pigs integrations can be really tough, but Fern's integration has been quite challenging.
Yeah, it's been a bit more challenging than we anticipated. Usually, in our experience, the birds tend not to be too bad. Usually we do it in stages. So first they were living side by side, so they'd seen each other, they could hear each other, and then we move on to kind of next step, which is Fern was in a crate inside of the main coop, so the other birds could see her, she could see them while still being safe and protected. So we did that for a couple days, up to a week before we started.
A few days at least.
Yeah, I think a couple days before we started short supervised integration attempts. So chickens, of course, do have their pecking order, but they tend to not be as, I don't know what the right word is. Pigs are they take it very, very seriously,
yes. and it shows up more throughout their day. I feel like chickens, once it's established, that's it.
Exactly. The pigs, it's a lot more fluid, whereas with the chickens, once they get it figured out, it's kind of fine, and they tend to not be as scrappy fighting for those spots, but you never know what to expect. So Fern has had a little bit of a hard time. We've had a couple individuals, a couple other hens
who call them out.
Yeah, no, should we call them out? Ginger, Nutmeg, and Blanche, who have been a little bit not as accepting. So when Fern comes out of her crate, they'll kind of run over, give her a little peck at the back of the head. Exactly, literally. And unfortunately, Fern is quite spooked by it. They're not being relentless, and they have definitely calmed down this week compared to last week. Honestly, at this point, I feel like she's just kind of more on the nervous side.
Much more on the defensive.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Even though nobody is actively going after her, she's just still finding it safer, or feeling more comfortable on the higher ground. So she's currently perched on top of the crate. She has food and water there, so we're making sure that she still has access to, the essentials and necessities. She's looking at us right now. Yeah, so we'll get there.
Yeah, it's definitely getting there, like Nicole said. I think once they kind of get it out of their system and feel like they've established themselves, and that really shows us that Nutmeg's probably the head hen in there.
Yeah,
she came out so strong, and she seems to be
shocked.
Getting over it. I didn't know that.
She's so quiet and unassuming, but I mean, she has a pretty intense face and energy. So I guess I was shocked to hear it, but now I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, so it's calming down, and again, most of it's now just reactionary from Fern of just thinking, okay, I don't want to turn my back, I don't want to let my guard down. We did try as well, just Fern and Richard, and see if they would bond, so she could come into the flock with a friend, and that didn't really. They got along, but he didn't really take her under his wing.
Not yet.
He's got a lot going on, and he's a very busy head rooster of this flock. So, yeah, that's her update. Nicole took a few photos earlier up on her crate with her food and water.
Yeah, so that's kind of her safe spot, either perched up on that crate or on the windowsill right there.
She's doing so good.
Yeah, she's very
looking
cute.
for reassurance.
Yeah, and then she's obviously molting right now as well, so we can comment on that. She had her implant, probably she had it pretty early on, probably a month ago at this point, so sometimes that does force them to have a molt. So she is, blowing out a lot of those feathers, has fresh ones coming in.
Patchy.
Yeah, exactly. So she's looking a little haggard right now, but we're getting there.
Yeah, she's really going through it. chicken integrations tend not to be this dramatic. I feel like this is one of the more dramatic ones.
I can't remember one taking quite this long.
No,
to
not
be honest,
this
off
long.
the top of
I
my
think
head.
the one with Shelley moving in, it was like Richard and Heisenberg was around, and the two Silkies and a few other people. Heisenberg was very dominant and didn't accept Shelley very readily. So this does happen, and they do have a hierarchy and a social system that they are aware of that we might not even know.
Yeah,
and we do it, like Nicole says, in stages. So we're not just like, we wouldn't just like put her in there. It's very overwhelming.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
it depends on the personality too, and she happens to have a very calm and quiet and non-confrontational personality. So because of that, there's not been any fighting back. The other birds haven't had that interaction, so it's mostly just been her running into a corner, running away from them.
Yeah, but you know what? I have faith that she's going to work through this. Like, I really just picture her becoming quite confident and sassy within this group. Like, honestly, I pictured her kind of being like bossing Richard around a little bit, to be honest.
We kind of were like guessing what was going to happen when we brought her in. And yeah, after integration, after everybody's calmed down, we'll definitely probably see her personality come out a bit more.
Yeah.
Today's more calm. Like, I remember the last few days coming out here every like half an hour to check.
It was a little bit more chaotic.
Yes.
Yeah, huge improvement this week compared to last week. Because, I mean, last week we were still just doing supervised sessions. Like, we weren't leaving her out in the coop with them. So that's a step in the right direction.
Yeah, because that could actually be dangerous. They could actually really hurt each other. So when we do first let them out, it's supervised. Staff is there watching, and if it's not going well, which it wasn't, then she gets back in her crate with her food and water and goes and gets to watch them for the rest of the day, and they get to watch her. And she's watching us right now. I'm not going to flip the camera around because I don't know if we'll be able to see her anyways, because it's kind of through like a dusty window.
Yeah.
She's up there. She seems more relaxed. Like, before, she was going as far as even on the windowsill of getting like as far away from as possible.
Yeah. I think she's maybe drinking or eating water.
Yeah,
oh my gosh, drinking or eating. She's very cute.
I think she was drinking.
Yeah, good job.
She's doing so good.
Yeah.
That's part of Sanctuary Life, bringing a new resident in and going through the integration steps. We always really ease them into it and kind of suss out their personalities and see. And sometimes you guess one thing's going to happen and the complete opposite happens.
Yeah,
so you always
you
have
never
to be
know.
ready.
Yeah, we've definitely been surprised. Yeah, you never know.
She's been quite confident with us, so this is a different side that I wasn't aware of. This really shy, kind of timid.
Yeah, I agree. I was definitely expecting that she was going to come in and right away and be like, all right, what's up? Like, a little bit more assertive. Yeah,
and
but
that's
okay.
happen. That does happen too. I'm trying to remember what Holly was like. I mean, usually when they're coming in too, they're automatically on the lower of the pecking order, so it's a little bit of a disadvantage, and then they figure that out if they are fighting back. If not, you really only see the pecking order outside of integration is with perching.
Yeah, that's true. Like, whoever's on top will be on the top bars, lower on the bottom.
Prime real estate.
Yeah, exactly.
Chickens, the head hens. Richard just lets them do. He might be. I don't want to say he's on the bottom, but like
he's not.
He just lets them. He's not part of it, actually.
Yeah, that's true. He kind of exists outside of it. He kind of just supervises.
He's like, y'all are doing great.
Yeah. He just supports them through it
at bedtime, which is pretty brief. They all position themselves on the perch, but sometimes there'll be some fighting. So somebody will go up that's not in the higher. Spot in the hierarchy, and they'll get chased down by somebody else.
Yeah,
and there can be some shuffling.
I feel like, honestly, I haven't seen them perched in a while because there's so much daylight now that usually when I come in the morning, they're already up waiting for breakfast, and then even leaving at nighttime, the sun's kind of still up, so they're not quite roosting yet. But I think Dorothy usually is on one of the bottom runs. Sage is always up top.
Sage is always, and you have to go get her in the morning because sometimes she can't fly down on her own.
Exactly. Ginger, I feel like, is usually second from the top, right? And then
that's where I put her back if I have to come out and do meds and she's already perched.
Yeah, I always put them back in the same spot. I can't think of, is Nutmeg usually on the top, or
I
is
think
it?
So.
Yeah, Nutmeg, maybe like a
familiar.
Gretchen on top. Off the top of my head, I'm not sure.
Gretchen's a wild card.
Yeah, she really is.
There's a few girls who are probably at least over 12 years old. Because they've been here for a while, and they came in not young.
Yeah, especially someone like Gretchen. You can see, like, she literally has wrinkles around her eyes. Her feet are super pale gray, so all those kinds of things that, like, let us know, okay, this is a very old bird.
Yeah, if you think of a young chick, how yellow and vibrant their feet are, and they lose that over time.
Yeah.
Proteins or something.
Things to do with egg laying and stuff. Yeah, but no, Ginger is she's still really intense.
Yes, there's a lot of activity in there, but No active fighting, no active chasing right now, and she did have a dust bath near them yesterday.
Yeah, that's a good step.
So that means she's feeling relaxed enough to at least just like have a bath and not worry about getting chased around.
Yeah.
So that was Fern's update. So thanks for tuning in, Gail, Linda, Helen, Marilyn, from all over the place. Thanks for tuning in to Bear Care. We're going to answer a question now that popped up. I don't know if this was on last week's Bear Care. I don't remember. From Jess, I have forgotten which pig has been on stall rest because of a broken toe/injury. How are they doing? Nicole's going to answer that one.
So it's sweet little Winifred. So one of the piglets. So one of Fiona's babies. So in April of this year, which is crazy, that's so long ago. So she broke one of the toes in her foot.
Not sure how.
Yeah, and it was quite a traumatic break as well. So she's been on extended stall rest basically since coming back from the hospital in May. So we actually did some imaging on site last week just to kind of recheck and see how things are healing. First, I'll say she's perfect. She's wonderful. We just got her down with a belly rub, no problems at all for the doctors to come in and do the x-rays, so she did very well. Her toe is still in pretty rough shape, unfortunately. So basically the bone that's broken, if you think of this as kind of like, I don't know, the side view of a pig hoof, so that this is the hoof itself and this is where her leg starts, so it's kind of the bone in here in the coronary band, kind of in that transitional zone. So it's this part down here that's broken. So not only is that bone actually broken, but it's also crushed and it's also twisted. So it's in pretty bad, the initial break was pretty rough. So right now, basically her body is remodeling and basically putting down new bone and material to fuse that joint together. So it's getting there. We were able to see on imaging that it's definitely trying, that the fusing is happening, but not quite there yet. So it might take a couple more months for that joint to be fully fused. So we're kind of still figuring out, working with our team of vets to kind of figure out exactly what next steps are going to be. Unfortunately, she might need a little bit longer on stall rest just to make sure that we're not putting her back out while that bone is still trying to remodel, because that can basically heal itself the best that it can, just to make sure that she's not running into more problems with that. But otherwise, she's doing really well. Like, spirits are great. She's getting around pretty well too. She's in a small space, but she's moving well in it. She kind of is able to put more weight on the other toe, it seems like. So she's still comfortable. She's still happy. But yeah, we're getting there.
She doesn't seem to be in much pain. She's not on pain meds right now. She started off on pain meds because when we first noticed that she was lame, we had her on meloxicam, but so that's good. She's not needing pain meds, but that is a process. And it's not a process where you can ask her, you know, say, hey, bed rest, you know,
try telling that to a pig. Yeah.
So it's just managing her with a small stall like we have been doing, bringing in enrichment, just making sure she's not running around and getting too excited or climbing, and just letting that heal on its own. There's a few other things, like maybe a hoof block we might try to add again. We had one kind of thing on that fell off within probably about a week.
Yeah, a week or two. Yeah, so there's things that we can do to kind of manage it and support it as it heals, and then kind of throughout the rest of her life as well. Things like laser therapy even, to help kind of speed up the remodeling process, fingers crossed. Starting her on glucosamine supplements, those sorts of things that we tend to start with our aging pigs. So she is turning 7 this year, which is wild. So I mean, she's not quite the piglet that she still is, that she, like, you know, in our brains are still babies.
Keep calling them piglets.
I know, but they're definitely getting up there in age. So especially now that we know that she has this injury that's definitely going to, you know, unfortunately that foot and that joint, like, will be compromised for the rest of her life. So at least we know, so we can kind of start supportive treatments and therapies, so hopefully it doesn't cause her too much trouble going forward.
Yeah, we have a lot of support with veterinary teams, and we have x-rays, and we have all these other things that we can really put into good use, and like Nicole said, the laser and stuff like that, adding glucosamine, so she's really on the right track. But, I don't know what we did expect with this. I think we were hoping the rads would look a little bit better.
Yeah, like when the image came up, the doctor was kind of like, ugh.
Yeah,
so that's okay. I mean, the good news is that her body is definitely trying to remodel. Like, it's doing its best to heal. So So we're on the right track.
Good trajectory, and we'll keep you posted with
Yeah.
her. And she's getting lots of snacks and belly rubs and everything. And she's
Yeah.
handling stall rest incredibly well.
I'm honestly shocked.
Pigs are extremely social. They really rely on each other and the support of each other, and she's been in there alone, and she's been doing really, really well.
Yeah,
I was shocked. We were ready if we needed some like calming supplements or medications, but she hasn't needed that. So
yeah, she's been doing really well. So
and the chickens have been really calm since we've been here, so that's good
Good.
news.
Oh yeah, I think Fern. She looks like she's eating still.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Fern's
good.
snacking. Hopefully she starts to get more comfortable. We'll still be crating her overnight, so that way when they wake up in the morning before we get here,
exactly.
they don't have any chance to, do things that we can't see. I think it'll be pretty soon that she won't be crated, and she can kind of
think so,
I think
too.
she'll put herself in the crate.
I think so.
Start to find her place in there.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's quite the process.
Yeah, it's like her first day at a new school. A little bit shy, a little bit scared. She'll figure it out. Yeah.
I think Nicole took both of these photos. I just
Oh
wanted
my
to
God.
include them. This is like at the tail end of a yawn.
Yeah, but like the back little kangaroo feet too. It's unreal.
This is Sadie, if you've never seen her, but I feel like the people in the comments now have seen Sadie before.
Yeah.
This is like a feed bowl that we put a blanket in, and it's like the
I
perfect
forgot
size.
that's the bowl. I thought it was a bed. I completely forgot.
It's a bed now.
Oh my gosh, yeah, she loves it in there. But yeah, the back legs like straight up like that is wild.
So it was such a rough day for her, and this might have been the same day.
It was the same day, and I think like an hour before, because that bed was set up next to this crate. So I think at first she was being really cute in this crate, which is great. Like we love seeing the cats, especially like sleeping in their crates during the day, because then
I
when
did
it's
it with
time
my cat.
Yeah, because when it's time to go to the vet, they don't see the crate and they're like, oh my gosh, it's time to panic. Sadie's like,
she went on her
she's
own.
like, I love it in here. So she was in the crate for a couple hours, and I came back later, and she had moved like that bed from the other picture is like literally right beside. So she was just flip-flopping between those two beds all day.
Yeah. I like the cats, like the heat kicks in at like 7 a.m.
Yeah.
It feels like it's right away. Like I'm out here at 6:30 and it's like, ooh, not bad. And all of a sudden it's like, we're just pouring sweat.
Yeah, it's quite hot.
But the cats they've been going out and sleeping in funny spots. Like
in
break
the straw,
room.
yeah.
The break room is air conditioned where they sleep overnight, but then they leave and they go and sleep under the trailer and
or in like the most insulated bed ever.
I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
I don't like the heat. Apparently they don't mind it.
Yeah.
She's extremely cute. Just want to share those photos as we wrap up.
Yeah.
So thank you
Thank
for tuning
you.
in, getting all the resident updates. Thank you for your questions, and we will see you again next time.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.